on my way to work, I would stop at McDonald's.
Where did you work?
I worked for this company called Universal Supply. They like sell like windows, siding, roofing.
Okay.
But I sat at a desk.
Rain gutters.
Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I love rain gutters.
So on my way to work, I would stop at McDonald's, and my go-to breakfast was 2 sausage burritos. I would get 4 hash browns.
Wow.
I would get a sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
Wow.
And then a large Dr. Pepper. And what I would do was I would eat 2 hash browns and 2 sausage burritos before I got to work. That way, when I walked into work, I just had my 2 hash browns and my sandwich and acted like it was my normal breakfast every morning. Like, oh, this is all I'm eating. But meanwhile, I'd already just put, X amount of calories in my body. And then as the morning would go on, with that kind of work, we always had like vendors come in with donuts and stuff like that. So it'd be nothing to have donuts or soft pretzels dropped off, and easily going to get 2 or 3 of those donuts. Soft pretzels, same thing, 2 or 3. And then
more soda.
Yeah, the soda all day. And Gatorade. Like, the 32-ounce Gatorades?
Yeah.
I would probably drink a minimum of 6 of those a day.
Why Gatorade? There's nothing even fun in there except sugar. Like, why not soda so you can get caffeine too? Just habit.
I just love Gatorade. Gatorade is like my definitely one of my addictions. That was probably like one of the harder things to give up. But then now I can't tell you the last time. Probably 3 years since I've had an actual Gatorade since that surgery.
Were you ever a Diet Coke guy?
Yeah, I actually just started. I stopped drinking it recently because it was getting out of control.
Yeah, I would drink like 12 a day for years.
Yeah, I was having like 3 or 4 a day, and my girlfriend kept on getting on me about it. And actually, after Disney, I told her, like, all right, I'm gonna only have Diet Cokes when we go out to dinner and sit down for dinner, and that's only like 3 or 4 times a month. So that's what I've limited myself to now. But yeah, it's funny. Like you said, like addictions are addictions, and no matter if it's like ones that are bad for us or good for us, we end up getting hooked on something somehow. Just the way my brain ticks, I guess.
Was the Gatorade the hardest thing to quit? Like, because it's just so easy to consume and it's such a daily habit.
Yeah, at the first, the Gatorade was definitely the hardest. Like just drinking water or like the Gatorade Zero, it sucked at first, but I kind of when I first started, I really got on the water kick for like 3 weeks. That way, when I went to Gatorade Zero, it would taste, like better. So I kind of tried to trick my mind.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
And that I kind of do that with, a lot of things.
Oh, and then what would you eat for lunch?
Lunch would be, I never bought lunch, always bought my lunch, and it would be, we had this place close by that I like to order from a lot. I would get a bowl of clam chowder, cheesesteak, and cheese fries, and a soda.
Damn.
And
it's crazy that there's and now looking back, there's things on the menu and you're just like, you look at them and you're just like, that's just obesity making. Like anytime, like there's just, it's crazy now going into a grocery store compared to like when I went into a grocery store 30 years ago. I just look at stuff and I'm like, that's just life shortening. Like eat that, incorporate that into your habits and your life gets shorter.
There's certain things I just refuse to ever try to eat again. Like as far as sandwiches, I think in the last 3 years I maybe had 2 sandwiches, and that was because that's what I had to eat at the time. There was nothing else
because you just don't fuck around with bread anymore.
I try to stay as far away from bread as possible. Here and there, I'm not gonna say but in the first year and a half, I didn't have a single slice or anything like that. And here and there will be maybe a little piece of sourdough or a piece of wheat toast with my eggs type of thing. But I try no sandwiches, no sugar drinks. I still to this day do not drink any sugar drinks whatsoever.
Yeah,
Zero.
bread's bullshit. I had a friend tell me that in high
It's
school.
so
I thought he was.
pointless. We don't need it. You don't need it on your sandwiches. You eat your. Like I always say, you get the burger for the damn burger. Like, yeah, the bread is awesome, but people just. A lot of people don't like making that sacrifice, and we're so accustomed in America to just have bread and every freaking meal, and
You definitely don't get both. Like, and that's the crazy part. You definitely don't get the fry. You don't get milkshake. So the first thing you do is you have to cut out the milkshake. There's just no excuse for that.
yeah.
And then you have to either choose to go in there and get fries and fucking ruin your life, or go in there and get the hamburger. You cannot do both. You cannot do the bread and the fries. It's like walking backwards 100 steps. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I hadn't gone to a fast food place in I don't know how many years. Let's say 15 years. And then one of my friends at CrossFit loved going to fast food places. And I would order, but I would just take off the top bun. Like every time. Like, okay, if I'm gonna eat a Jack in the Box, and it was so effective. I'm not suggesting anyone do that, by the way. But the bread was clearly made out of sugar. And the difference between eating it with both pieces of bread and with the top piece off was like night and day. Like I would have a crash if I ate both pieces of bread. And then to think that people ate fries too, nuts to me.
And that's what I think a lot of it comes down to, is because, like, even though I was eating those things and I knew it, like, mentally I know it's not like great for me, but I also didn't realize how bad it was for me. And I think that's such like
I didn't realize it either. Yep.
I think that's just America in general. A lot of people just don't know what they're actually doing to their bodies. And it's just like, well, I'd rather be happy than like, I'm going to die happy. I'm like, you're going to die early.
No, yeah, you're not going to die happy.
Like,
you're not happy.
And you're not happy. In my mind, I always thought to myself, like, I'll be lucky to make 40. And I knew that, but I wasn't doing shit about it.
That's scary.
Like, it got to the point where it's like, let's try to expedite this process. And like when you asked me earlier if I was like suicidal, it wasn't almost like I wanted to kill myself right there, but like I got to the point where I knew what I was doing. And so then I was like, all right, if you're never going to change, like, let's hurry this the hell up and like get really unhealthy. So like I would come home, and I was living with my parents at the time. And so for dinner I would come home, eat a snack, whether that be, go get a bag of chips and throw some chips on a plate and dump some cheese on it, throw it in the microwave and call it nachos, and go up to my room and eat that. And then hear mom say, all right, dinner's ready, have 2 or 3 servings of that. And then 2 hours later, go make myself like a frozen personal pizza, or we have like what's called Wawa's out here, like a convenience store. And it's like a 7-Eleven type thing. Go to there and grab, a pint of Ben and Jerry's. And
oh, damn.
On the way home, I would grab like not on the way home, but as I would leave Wawa, I would have an ice cream cake too. And I would eat like the ice cream, not an ice cream cake. What the hell they call it? Like whatever. It's just like a regular
sandwich.
Bar, ice cream sandwich. Yeah. Eat that on the way home and then walk in with my ice cream. Like, I'm having ice cream tonight.
Yeah.
I just had, you know what I mean? Like that was pretty much my daily routine of how I ate. So I was probably
it's just drug addict behavior. It's just so interesting.
It's what I was accustomed to doing. It's like I couldn't tick right if I didn't have certain things, because that's like couldn't stop at McDonald's, or I woke up late, like my whole day was ruined that I couldn't have my McDonald's in the morning